Good morning. Thanks for joining in my weekly podcast, Where Do You Stand? Hosted by yours truly. Today we will be discussing a pretty known topic, the legalization of marijuana, but more specifically, who should be deciding the legalization of the drug. To do so, we will be taking on the persona of a very influential anti-federalist of his time and follow how he may have viewed the subject. Who was Millington Smith? Smith was an anti-federalist during the mid-1700s to early 1800s. He was originally from Long Island, New York, where he would actively engage in mercantile business and politics. He would often speak out about his beliefs against the federal government. Smith would also actively advocate for the middle and lower class. For these reasons, he had mainly opposed the new Constitution and federal government. He didn't support how the Constitution would allow for the lower classes to be less heard and often not chosen when running for elections. He believed that it would give the upper class, elite, and wealthy an unfair advantage. For these reasons, I believe that he would have supported the decision for legalization of marijuana to be a state-made decision. Exactly why should the distribution and legalization of marijuana be a state government decision as opposed to federal? Well, the legalization of marijuana has always been a state-made decision protected by our 10th Amendment of the Constitution. Exactly what is the 10th Amendment? Well, the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states or reserved to the states, respectively, or to our people. In our case, this correlates directly to the decisions of the state, commerce, and distribution of the drug, which only they hold the power for. Often, the 10th Amendment is used in the same way in which many representatives from other states have argued for the decision of gun control, healthcare, and to one of the decisions I believe should have been an undeniable right to our citizens, same-sex marriage. Thus showing that the 10th Amendment has been used to validate many decisions on state-made choices, letting the federal government make the decisions for the whole nation, and without state consideration would be completely unfair and a violation of our Constitution, taking away state reserved powers or powers and rights not given to the federal government. In fact, many of those who reside with the states that have legalized marijuana agree with the stance that it should be a state-made decision. And many polling marijuana advocates have more frequently and firmly held the hand of the 10th Amendment. The polling indicates that 60% of Americans, in fact, favor legalization, and nearly 3/4 oppose the federal interference in the state cannabis laws. The state legalization of marijuana also means that the drug must be grown, sold, and taxed all within the state without using and federal land or means for commerce. This prevents the retail of marijuana businesses from using banks that are federally regulated. It also allows businesses to avoid deducting expenses from their federal incomes. These further reasons also help to support why a pro-state-made decision for the legalization of marijuana would be supported by Millington Smith, as he was proudly represented by many farmers on multiple occasions to confirm that they would be adequately represented and heard. Alrighty then, that wraps up this week's podcast. Again, feel free to share, like, and follow. If you need any questions answered, feel free to put them in the comments.